tribunal has returned and upheld the severe grading sought by the AFL, but there is still debate happening around sanctions, so we'll head to David Zita in the last break of the show. This is a sweet spot for Ray Chamberlain, I think. Ray's welcome.
Gerard, Geordie, how you going, mate?
Good, thank you.
Umpiring the hot-headed player. That is our title tonight.
We were sweet. I knew you got to pick your battles, Gerard. I steer clear of the big fella. We got along all right.
I said to Gerard before, when you guys started to get the mics, then the communication really was more sort of teacher-student orientated, wasn't it? Before that, there was some good banter.
Some great banter, enjoyable banter.
How do you go about umpiring a circumstance where a player is a bit of a loose cannon?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting, Gerard, because you go into a game and you need to observe, and it's not just about how many bounces have I got straight or any of these. You go, what's actually happening out here? And there are signs. So if we take the weekend as an example, we're 4 minutes in and we've got throwing on the ground, we've got wrestling. So this is a person who's come in and isn't going to tolerate any carry-on from his opponent. And so there are lots of levers that we've got at our disposal, and it's not always directed at Tom or the aggrieved player. Sometimes you want to communicate to the opponent. Sometimes, Gerard, depending on your relationship, senior players from the club, because there's no pressure like peer pressure. So you go to a leader of the club and go, hey, Tom's on one here. You might want to have a word with him. So there's lots of different levers that we can pull rather than just free kick or getting in a player's face and making it worse. So I think that's an experience thing, and I think that's an awareness thing.
All right, so there were 15 instances from the first half for which we asked you to sit down. There are some that are just straight up and down.
Yes.
So we've left those aside. They look like there are two tension points here.
Yeah, really, we've got two buckets of free kick. We've got arm interference and we've got holding. So the holding piece relates to leading up and trying... I think you were speaking at the front, Jordan, about gaining the position at the back and who's got what position and where, their starting position. So that's where we see some back and forth with arms. But the ones that I think really jumped out to me where we go, OK, is there warranted free kick here, relates to marking, contest and arm interference. And I think we've got 4 examples that we're going to walk through. So they're not easy. So this one's just play on. This is 2 players just jostling for position. Ball goes over the top, no drama here, play on, nothing to see. We move on to the next one. Umpire positioning is really interesting. So this instance, as we said there, this is the real challenging one. You see the left arm of Butts is on the shoulder of Lynch, pulling him down, preventing him from being able to jump and propelling him into the air to be able to spoil. And so that left arm there on the shoulder would warrant a free kick. But if you have a look, if we're able to roll it back where our umpires are, they're on the other side of the body, and then the person who's meant to be at the front, to the umpire's credit, is doing everything he can to run across to position. So down the bottom there, you can see our umpire. He can't see the other side of that marking contest. So that's where we've got a positioning issue. And here, we've just missed it.
So Lynch will feel like he should have got a free kick there?
If that's a warranted free kick for over-the-shoulder high contact, marking interference.
Take us to the next.
Yeah, the second one is, again, an arm interference free kick. And again, it comes down to positioning. Where are we? And this is really hard because only a boundary umpire is going to see this. We need the third replay to see this free kick. So you'll see the arm being held down there behind Lynch. Boundary umpires don't pay free kicks, Gerard, so we don't have our umpires lined around the outside all day through the middle of the ground. You can't cover the distance, but that would be a warranted free kick.
So again, in mindset, Lynch is going, that's another free kick that should have been paid to me.
Absolutely, yeah, and that would be a warranted free kick.
Fourth one?
Yeah, again, we're back again to arm interference. And when a ball comes inside forward 50 and a tall, for whatever reason, doesn't put their arms up, I don't go to judgment, I go to curiosity, Gerard, and I go, why is that the case? And again, Butts left arm, Hook, Lynch left arm, can't get arms up for free kick. That is a free kick for arm interference. Marking contest free kick. OK, so there are 3 there that Lynch will feel that he should have been given. And rightly so, yeah.
And if seen, should have been paid.
Absolutely.
OK, so that's the arm interference, and then there's the hold.
Holding's really interesting because often you've got players who are jostling with one another to take that assertive position, or the position that they would prefer. So in this instance here, you can see Lynch hooks his arm to get around him and rip him back so he can run up at the ball. I don't think that's a free kick. I think it's play on. Here, Keane gets in the way, turns his back and locks him up for a moment to prevent him from getting to the marking contest. The third one's just play on. So the second one in that bundle, that's the one that would look to be a free kick, where Keane has no objective to contest the ball. He just wants to stop Lynch from being able to influence that marking contest, and you could pay a free kick in that instance for a block.
But even then, it's 50-50.
Isn't it? It's not a massive one, Geordie, but what we're trying to say here is that 4 minutes in, before any of this has happened, Tom's presented in a certain mindset.
Yeah.
So this is a Tom issue. It's not an umpiring issue. However, if we extrapolate it out over the game, there are examples where we can illustrate the challenges faced with umpiring key position defenders and attackers.
Yeah, it is interesting. So it helps fuel the mindset that he was in.
I asked Harry upstairs as to how he felt around this, and again, his context was around if the defender is not looking at the football early, that's where he feels more free kicks should be paid. He thinks in contest, the umpiring generally pretty good, but he reckons it's that early stuff where the jostling piece, where the defender shows no regard for the ball, no reference for the ball, that's where his frustration is.
All right.
So sorry, I just thought on the run here. So as an umpire, are you watching? Because Lynch came from a fair way back.
Yes.
Who's watching that contest compared to where the ball will drop?
Yeah,
contest?
Perfect. So with 4, the furthest end zone, you're not worried about the ball, you're not referencing the ball, you're referencing forward observation and you watch the behaviour of the player. So you shouldn't be looking at the footy.
And this is the second set of holdings.
So if we look at this here, so there's fine. They're just looking for position, Gerard. Now, right there at the end there, has he got hold of Lynch's left arm? Hard to say. This one here, again, they're just going to jostle for position, Gerard. So, again, Lynch wants back position. He's going to hook around and get back. Butts is going no way. That's not a free kick. That's play on, no drama. And that's just key position players doing what they do. Again, that one there, the ball's 60 metres away. Is it a free kick? Lynch wants the back. Butts wants the front. Who's holding who?
Yeah. What do you think of today's crackdown around umpire contact?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I thought there were some key words so that I don't think we should gloss past in the outrage bucket or what have you. So one is avoidable contact. So we're talking about primarily centre bounce, where it's not fluid, the game's not in motion, the umpire's going to bounce the ball, they need 5 degrees and they'll give the other 355 degrees to the players. And what they don't want to see the game is players setting up behind the umpire, because that increases the risk of contact, and using the umpire as an opportunity to create separation at stoppage. So the umpires, all they're really mainly worried about is this stuff at stoppage, and particularly centre bounce.
Yeah, so don't use them as a shield, and where it's avoidable,
Gerard,
avoid.
The dialogue's been going on for 2.5 years.
It has, and it's been getting worse. Ray, thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.